Thank you.
Council President Sessions.
Thank you. I believe there's a legal term that if someone is fraudulent in the past, then it's reasonable that they'll be on notice. And unfortunately, Councilmember Binda has misappropriated city resources in the past. He has shown that he has been allowed and paid for to be at 2 other events paid for by the city, and he did not participate in member trainings or the legislative meetings that were planned for the priorities of the city of Lynnwood, and he didn't report back on his what he did there. I need to note that he keeps saying the city council president doesn't have the authority. I was clear when I told him, and we have it in writing, that he would need to get authority from the whole city council because of his past misuses that have been on notice of city resources. So it's important that we understand that I gave him the opportunity to talk to the whole council and to discuss this with all of us, including the city attorney, and he chose not to. It's also important to note that nobody knew he was actually there until we saw it on social networking. So, and also the city credit card, it shows also in that resolution and for the travel policy that the council members should use the city credit card and go through the finance department for their travels, which he also didn't do. Granted, and I've been transparent about this the whole time, he brought this up just a couple weeks before this large event, and you know, large travel to leave the state is a big deal. And I was telling him no, but he did have the opportunity to talk to the council and the city attorney in time to also make arrangements through the city card and appropriate things if he moved quick enough. And he did not do that. One more thing to clarify is that when talking about City Council Vice President Julia Talchamarino Crosby's trip and whether it was approved or not, the approval wasn't because it was stated in some sort of rule that a council member needs to be approved. Again, as City Council President, it's my job to make sure that we're abiding by the rules. And so that's why I offered it up to the council and city attorney to review this because of Councilmember Binda's past actions. It's important to note there's no comparison with Councilmember Vice President Julia Talchamarino Crosby's visit to NLC in Washington, D.C. She was official and approved by any reasonable person. Any reasonable person can say that she had the qualifications and was ready and prepared to serve and represent the city of Lynnwood. She planned far in advance for the trip. She went through council executive assistant to make her travel plans. They used a city credit card to use for all of her budgeted training funds. She planned ahead with our mayor and assistant city administrator and gathered the city priorities and appropriate city documents that she shared with our leaders there in Washington, D.C., coordinated with our federal lobbyists to meet with all the legislators who represent us in Washington, D.C. Then after, she presented a PowerPoint presentation with pictures and details on what she shared, who she met with, and what she learned to all of us and the public